How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, I want to cover another rumor that's been popping up. There's actually been so many rumors recently, it's kind of getting intense. You may notice I'm not really in the most high spirits right now. There are a few things in my real life that are happening, which I won't be sharing on YouTube, that are currently not the best. But, you know, a bunch of stuff happening. Also got a stomach pain, major stomach pain. Got that, so I've been trying to deal with that all morning. But we are here, guys. We've got videos to make. We got stuff to do. This is honestly the only thing that keeps me busy in the day, so that I don't think about all the bad shit that's happening in life. So I'm here, guys, with a brand new video. Also, just a quick random thing that I want to point out. Yesterday I announced that I will be opening a Patreon in case YouTube takes away, you know, monetization in the future. You never know, it can happen. It's happened to a lot of other channels, so I'm just, you know, setting that up as a precaution. Just want to mention that real quick. Sorry about the interjection there about that. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the actual information that's right in front of us here. So, this was posted on 4chan and sent to me by Sheely. Again, Sheely, thank you so much. Sheely just sends me a million of these things all the time. I'm not sure if this one actually still exists. There is a high chance. Oh, no, it's still around. And it just includes the map here, so it wasn't really much else beyond that. But here's the actual rumor itself, and we're going to read through it here. I know my face cam is a little bit in the way, which I do apologize about. I'll move it down here so you guys can see the actual information first and foremost. So let's start from the top here and actually read the info. So, two professors / brothers both have different ideals based off of defense and offense. Each give you a starter Pokemon. Now, this seems odd, right? So why would they give you two starter... I mean, you know, each gives you a starter Pokemon. Would you have two starter Pokemon from the beginning of your journey? That seems a little bit odd. You know, as for, you know, in terms of this, you know, when it comes down to two professors, I said it's highly likely. If you look at the map right here, let's open up the actual map, and I'll zoom in here for you guys. Down here, you'll notice, I'm going to move my face cam real quick. You'll notice right here, you've got two purple houses, both with auditoriums and all that, or like, you know, I'm not sure the observatorium, sorry, on the sides here. I mean, you'll see purple house down here, purple house down here. They're very, very similar. So it definitely could be two brothers, two professor brothers that both have different ideals. This one over here may be a little bit more in the past. This one is a bit more, you know, in the future. Maybe this one, you know, prefers tradition. And he's like, you know, in the bushwood over here, like in the bushes and, you know, behind the trees and whatnot. Kind of run-down house, while this one's all nice and tidy and inside of the city, you know, industrializing slowly. Maybe this is a hint towards the tradition versus innovation stuff that we heard from the past from Chinese Riddlers and Japanese Riddlers and just Riddlers in general. We've heard that sort of information in the past, so it could be that's, you know, that's what it's related to. I am not sure what it is, but I mean, hey, it could be that's what it's all about. So I don't know, but I do think that we're definitely going to be getting two different professors. I think that's highly likely thing. Also, I'm sorry about the music levels, guys. I do apologize. I'm lowering it right now so you guys can hear me better. I apologize about that. I'm very sorry. Either way, let's get into the actual rest of the list here. The professor you meet gives you a Gen 8 starter. Okay, the first professor you meet gives you a Gen 8 starter. The second professor you'll meet shortly into the game gives you a starter from Johto. Okay, which would make sense if they... I mean, that would make sense if we're getting Let's Go Johto next year as a way to give an homage to Johto, as those games may be getting a, you know, a Let's Go Pikachu, sorry, Let's Go Pikachu-esque remake or Let's Go remake next year, so, and it's possible. They also said here that there is 96 new Pokemon, which is fantastic if that is true. Actually, I'm starting to like this rumor already, guys. I'm starting to like this one. 3 Legendaries and 3 Mythicals. That's a little bit too few in Legendaries and Mythicals, I've got to say. And I also do like the fact that he mentions here, like, you know, if you're able to actually get a starter Pokemon from Johto, that would be fantastic, because the Johto starters are my favorite, so I'll be definitely up for that. Starters have very interesting final typings. Okay. There's no new types in the game, which is kind of expected. I don't think we were, you know, many people were really expecting a new typing, but you never know. 2 new fossil Pokemon. Sabertooth Tiger Rock Electric and Mastodon Rock Ground. Now, I'm not sure about Sabertooths, if they roamed around specifically the UK, you know, in the prehistoric-esque era, and, you know, I mean, the Ice Age, I guess, for the Sabertooth, if they even existed. I think they existed in that time, right? Yeah, but, as for those animals and those, you know, dinosaurs, I guess, I mean, did they really exist in that era? Did they really run around in that specific era? I don't know, man. It's a curious question that I shall ask. Eevee has two new evolutions. Steel, what? Has also, maybe it means like also a new evolution. It's a steel type. Okay, well, fair enough. Wizardry and folklore dominate new characters and Pokemon. There's a lot of association with sports too, mainly football. Fair enough, which makes sense. I mean, wizardry seems to, mainly come from the fact, like, I think this is just added here because there's a lot of, like, wizardry from, like, old, like, you know, mythology, and so to say, as well as, like, folklore. And on top of that, you also have, like, just add on top of that the fact that, you know, football is very popular. I mean, started in the UK, so it wouldn't be surprising, you know, for them to have that. So this could be just wild guesses, to be fair. Now, this is where it gets a little bit weird because, you know, they say here there are 24 new megas, which would be amazing if they did that, but the question is, would they really go for it? That's the big question. So there are 24 new megas. To name some: Johto Stardust, Crobat, Ursaring, Bronzong, Frostlass, Gigalith, Excadrill, Conkeldurr, Crocodile, Klinklang, and Aegislash. Also, Aegislash equals Lucario. Not sure what that means. Do they merge together? Fuse? What's up? There is 15 new regional variants from Johto. Okay, that would be sick if we had that. A few: Sentret / Furret, Natu / Zatu. Okay, that'd be sick. Slowking, Girafarig, and Slugma / Macargo. Slugma looks like melting steel. Fair enough. A whole village with a gym is underground. That would be actually really, really cool to see. There are underground type stuff, you know, that's happened in the past in Pokemon games, so that wouldn't be really too out of the ordinary, to put it, you know, in layman's terms. They say there is no Pokemon Go integration, which doesn't surprise me if that's actually true, because I don't think we will be seeing that in the, you know, in the actual, you know, like these games. I don't think there's going to be any Pokemon Go connection. There was that in Let's Go. That's because Let's Go was a very recent game, whereas this game has been in development since before Let's Go. So yeah, you can catch just shy of 700 within the region. So out of the now 905, you can only catch about 700 in the region. Fair enough. Dugtrio plays a role in the games. Okay, that does. I mean, I guess he got that from the mural with the Dugtrios next to the rock type looking gym. A helmeted wolf is a mythical Pokemon that guards the region. All right. I mean, okay. That's fair enough. There's a clock Pokemon that evolves once into a grandfather clock. An elf Pokemon that does not evolve. And a Narwhal and a Unicorn that are game variant pseudo-legendaries. This feels a little bit like, you know, on the nose, you know what I mean? A little bit on the nose about these ones. These feel like they're very, like, stereotypical as to what we were expecting, you know, to, you know, happen, or, like, stereotypical, like, folklorish type Pokemon. We gotta remember that Pokemon doesn't always make, you know, all the Pokemon in a region based on that region, you know what I mean? From the real life, you know, influence. Sometimes they tend to like make a few Pokemon, you know, based on some outside, like lore and type stuff. So who knows? But anyway, do not follow you. So okay, so no Ultra Beasts, which does seem very, you know, possible that we're not going to see them. I think Ultra Beasts are kind of a thing for, you know, Sun and Moon, and I think they're staying in Sun and Moon most likely, as that seems like the most logical place to keep them. Pokemon do not follow you. This will continue on with the Let's Go series though, which does make sense. And Pokemon not following you, I think that's kind of a given. We didn't see any in the trailer, and I literally said this back when Let's Go was released. I said that, like, in Generation 8, I don't think they'll add following Pokemon. And I remember people asking me, like, what are your wishes for Generation 8? I'm like, I'd love to see following Pokemon. And people always ask me, like, well, what do you mean by that? They already did following Pokemon in, like, Let's Go Peach 3. Why wouldn't they do it in Gen 8? Because they'll give the same argument they've always given, which is that we did it for this game, so we can't do it for this game, right? That's what they tend to do, is like, you know, if we did it from one game, we can't do it for another game, and that's just how it ends up being sometimes, which is totally fine. I get it, it's Game Freak, they can do whatever they want, it's their game, but, you know, sometimes they do that, and they, you know, split up features, but it is what it is. Now, battling the Elite Four and Champion is actually in a stadium. Okay, well, that makes sense. We've seen the stadium several times. It feels like all the different gyms are in some sort of stadium, so it's a reasonable approach to assume that there's going to be something like that for the Elite Four as well. Post-game, you'll get to battle many familiar faces. So, are we going to be seeing, like, a bunch of characters from the past just showing up? That'll be interesting. Now, this one is the long one here. So, the evil team leader is trying to catch the box legendary to use them to destroy a close region that he left years ago. They have the other box legendary that you will battle once you are able to catch the box legendary of your box, and will try to steal it from you. Okay, so it's, I mean, I guess it's a pretty straightforward plot for the evil team here, if this is real. Again, this is a rumor, guys, so take this all with, like, not an inch of salt, but like a mountain of salt, because none of this could end up being real. It will be just straight up bullshit. But let's just break down what we actually have here. I mean, first of all, it wouldn't surprise me if we do get, like, you know, like, in all fairness, right, 96 new Pokemon is a good amount. I think 96 is a good amount. Sure, it isn't 100, you know what I mean? And it isn't, like, you know, 150 or, you know, whatever. But at least it isn't, like, 80 or 60, right? It's 96. It's still good. Like, 4 more and you got yourself 100, right? And on top of that, you got 3 legendaries and 3 mythicals. If this is a real rumor, by the way, which we don't know yet. It's literally just a rumor. But if, it, you know, that's a good number. That's a number I personally would be satisfied with. I am so on board for that. No new typings, I have no issue with that. I think fossil Pokemon definitely need to return. We had none in like Sun and Moon, so seeing some of that return. 2 new evolutions, I guess, something Steel. I'm not sure what he meant here exactly, but a Steel type evolution would be sick, which would make sense also with the region itself being very much industrial and all that. Wizardry and folklore dominate new characters in Pokemon. Fair enough. I mean, I see why they would do that. There is so much folklore, so much history in the UK that you can use, so why wouldn't you? 24 new Megas, makes sense. New Mega Evolutions need to pop up sooner or later. They said they were going to return them in the future at some point. It's been like, what, since 2013? No, 2014. That was the last time we saw new Megas during ORAS, right? So, since ORAS, it's been now 5 years since we last saw the single new Mega Evolution. This is the time to make them return, and to make sure we get new Johto Megas, and also new Sinnoh Megas. Those 2 generations would make the most sense. Why, you may ask? Because think about this, right? Think about this, guys, okay? Those are 2 very popular generations to begin with, right? Johto is very popular, and Sinnoh is gigantic and hugely popular, I think more than Johto even. It's very, very popular, and introducing like new Mega Evolutions in this kind of time frame makes sense, because then you can carry those over nicely to the next generation of like Let's Go games, right? So that which would be Let's Go, Let's Go Johto, and also Sinnoh remakes, which are coming either next year or the year after that. Because I think next year we might get Let's Go Johto first, and then Diamond and Pearl remakes the year after. I think that's the more likely thing to happen here. But yeah, and also the fact that, if this is true and we can catch over 700 different Pokemon within the region, that would be fantastic. It isn't all of them, but I mean, hey, it's still a lot, so I'll take it. But yeah, that's going to be the general it for the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, then drop a like down below. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry for not being at 100%, energy levels today, guys. My stomach is killing me. Some real life stuff is happening. I'm just trying to stay calm a little bit here. So thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great day. Feel free to drop a like down below if you wanted to. Subscribe to future videos, and I'll catch you all the guys next time. Bye bye.